Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Michael Shiel in particular, I'd like to say welcome to the video. Today's video is all about the Adidas Busenitz Vulc 2. Bit of a mouthful if you're asking me. I've never really had a look at these shoes before now, but I ordered them about 6 PM last night on a Sunday and they arrived within 15 hours. Absolutely mad lads, especially during this current issue with COVID-19. Now, the Busenitz are named after Dennis Busenitz, who is apparently somewhat of a well-known skateboarder, and the previous model, hence the Busenitz 2, were obviously the originals. A different silhouette though. This one takes the Vulc silhouette and is, like I say, the second in the series. Now, these came out in January of 2020. And so what we're going to be doing here is having a very basic look at it. I only really got them because I took my Specials for a walk with a dog to the park and they got drowned in mud, which is really annoying. I left them for about a month and can't get them back to the point that they need to be in order to be good trainers, which is a real shame. But it does give me the opportunity to try a pair of shoes I've never had before. So let's get a look at the shoes and see what we think. Now, the shoes do of course come in your standard Adidas trainer box. Some people, I think, like to keep these. I don't really have a particular interest in keeping them. And the only real thing I've noted is that usually, or the past few Adidas originals I've got, have come in a blue and white box. So for some people that might be interesting. For me, it helps me support the Reading Football Club a little bit more, but not mad. As you can see there on the rear of the box, I'll be back to front for you, but just gives you the details of the shoes. Size 12 because my feet kind of bigger than my hands, and my toes are like fingers, so hopefully these fit them well enough to kind of take that into consideration. The shoes themselves come in the lovely Adidas own wrapping, which we could keep for Christmas and give that to someone. And let's have a quick look at the shoe, shall we? So this is the first time I've seen them in person as well, and first observations is they're nice. They've got a very thick sole, obviously, as the kind of skateboard silhouettes usually do. And actually I think the shape, even though they've kind of been given that Vulc name, the Vulc model name, they remind me quite a lot of Nike Janoskis, but that might just be because I don't usually look at shoes that are aimed at the skateboarding sort of side of things. Now, I think the thing that stands out most on the shoe, and the thing that actually I quite liked when I sort of had a look online, you can see here this kind of, I don't even know what you'd call that, little addition to the rear of the shoe. Now that is just rubber, which on the website maybe I didn't pick up on, although I kind of assumed it wouldn't be suede. But I quite like it. It's just an extension of the sole, really, isn't it? You can see they just got the gum on the bottom, a bit of a honeycomb texture to it. And again, first thoughts really is that the rear kind of leans more towards the Adidas Montreal originals that you may or may not be familiar with. They're a bit more extreme in the sense that it's a very sort of almost like pebbly texture to the rear end of that shoe, and it comes right up and around. Wasn't a massive fan of those ones, but this one kind of commits partially that way. Other than that, it's just a very basic black and white shoe. That is what I was after. And again, the only other real observation I can make is that in comparison to other original shoes, you can see there that the Busenitz is quite small. Some people might not mind that, some people might kind of indifferent, but if you just compare it to a pair of Specials, you can see there, can't you, the size difference is quite significantly different. So that is the shoe itself. These were listed on the Adidas website for £65. Originally, they came out in January, I believe, so actually they're not that old a shoe, but they were listed for £65. Now there is currently a sale on, and then being an absolute detective, I found a 25% discount code online, so these actually only cost me in the end £38. So I think for £38 you can kind of see that they're going to do a job, and they look nice enough to just sort of wear around if you're going out for a couple of pints down to the footy, or probably if you're going skateboarding, that's where they're going to suit you most. What we'll do quickly is just have a little try on. So now you get a view of my bed as well. It's decorated lovely at the moment with some roses, which is lovely. The shoes are actually a really good fit. They look a bit like flippers from this angle, but they do, like I say, contain feet that probably work like flippers. For £38, there's nothing you can complain about really. If you like the style, there's nothing on foot that would cause you any concern. In terms of skating, I haven't got a clue. These might wear out quite quick. I read that they can be quite durable. But just for wearing around, you're going to be absolutely fine. End of the day, they're a pair of trainers, aren't they? They're a pair of black and whites, and there's very few people that are going to look at these and think, oh, Busenitz. You're just going to get most people see the pair of shoes and then walking on. But they're very good. I like them a lot. And do they make up for wearing horribly short tracksuit bottoms? I don't know. But pleased with my purchase. Give them a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10.